Processed food. Something that's been becoming more popular within these past few years, and when you think about the causes of this, it becomes a little scary to think about. Like, there are a few times where I would be looking out the window of my car, and I would see trash all over the grass with the occasional bird flying down and picking at it. I would always wonder if this trash was actually put away in a trash can or not. But sometimes it doesn't even matter. In some cases, people will put their trash in full trash cans that end up getting blown away by the wind and scattered all over the ground. And sometimes animals digest that trash. Those same animals are the ones that we kill and sell to be eaten. In other circumstances, that trash also consumes the animal's home and can immobilize said animal, which can eventually kill them. But it isn't just trash. No. It's also pollution and deforestation and hunting. All of these contribute to the mass murder of animals. And it's not just one animal affected, but the whole ecosystem. And honestly, it wasn't until about the 6th grade that I learned about things called food chains and food webs, which is a visual representation of how animals and plants are connected to each other with what they eat. We also did activities where we would look at what would happen if an animal was taken out of a food chain. Usually the effects wouldn't be that bad, but in some cases everything would have to adjust in order to try to fix what had been taken. This phenomenon is actually called a tropical cascade, which in more specific terms means there's an addition or deletion of a top predator and every lower level has to adjust. Links to the articles of my research down below. Although this definition seems like it only applies to sea-based animals, it's also the same thing for land animals. For example, most people know about the wolves that slowly disappeared from Yellowstone National Park. And after a few years, they reintroduced the wolves in hopes that they would restore the ecosystem, and in that area, after observing for a few years, they succeeded. But things like this are small when looking at everything. Compared to all the pollution and hunting and destroying of homes, small help like that will only help the small ecosystem, which is why there are some zoos who protect these animals who are otherwise not seen in the wild. These animals are called extinct in the wild, or EW for short. I was actually really into zoos because I love seeing the animals, but in 5th grade when I was doing a research project on endangered species, that interest quickly changed. I had found out that my beloved orca whales were suffering in captivity, and I was not happy with this news. This is what actually sparked my love for orca whales. But through current research, I found out I was most definitely not the only one who was upset by this. Former SeaWorld trainer John Hargrove was once interviewed and explained how having the animals in captivity creates both physical and mental trauma, due to the fact that in captivity they're not given the proper home and climate to support them. Much like having a goldfish in a small fish tank. And some people like to think, oh, well, just let them be free. That actually wouldn't help anything. Since the animals were raised in captivity and given improper diets and are living far, far away from their proper home, setting them free would overall be useless since the animals wouldn't know how to survive in the wild and would eventually die. If the extinction of animals continues, people will no longer have natural food to eat. I know my mom is always trying to find me the most natural foods for my body since a lot of foods are processed and contained chemicals that I never knew existed. And as my bio teacher once said, if you cannot pronounce the ingredients in your food, should you really have that in your body?